Well, what's interesting about disability is that the disability movement has been fully informed by feminism, because feminists were the first people to talk about the rights to their own body. And that's essentially what the disability movement has done, because they've been able to talk about how are we going to manifest our rights having different bodies. My name is Chris Lyttle. I'm the AODA Coordinator here at Brock University. I've been here for about approximately 2 3/4 years. And before this I was working with human rights implementation globally, and also as a consultant in local areas. Back in the day when I was about 15 or 16, my interest was joining the military, and my interest was becoming infantry. And so when I was 17 I went to join. They flat out told me that I couldn't because of my disability. And so I tried to find avenues in which I could still have a productive life and a sort of an outcome that would impact people towards living more equitable lives. I have what they call hemiplegia, which was brought on by a stroke at the early age. And so that is a medical term, but everybody refers to me as Chris. And so people still refer to it as hemiplegia, but I consider it to be an impairment that's impacted by social systems of thought and barriers created by policy and decisions that weren't being consulted on by individuals with disabilities that impacts a disability. So in that sense, it kind of gives you a full spectrum of how I view it. People might view it as being a deficiency. I view it as being a very political term. So no longer is it disability, it's person with a disability, and that person is myself. And we're trying to figure out how to develop an inclusive community through an educational standpoint where people can come, learn, work, visit, and partake in the university atmosphere. And so that includes all kinds of different issues like gender identity, gender expression, race, family, status, creed, all these sorts of things interplay. And so the way we're starting to view disability now is more as a variable instead of a set of identity. It's more malleable and more flexible than it was originally considered. Back in the 80s, it was probably considered to be visibly verifiable. You know, a wheelchair, a cane, automatically people would associate that with disability. Even the international symbol for accessibility is a person in a wheelchair. If you look at when women were legislated the right to vote, which now seems archaic, to actually have that process in place. People with disabilities have just now got access to the same rights as everybody else in 2010 and 2012. And in 2007, and around that time, when the UN Convention was signed and ratified, people with disabilities just obtained access to those same rights. So you think about the disparity between pay for women and men. It's still occurring. You think about the amount of misogyny that's out there. It's still occurring. So this is just started now for people with disabilities. You have to think about how long it'll take for that cultural awareness to develop. It'll take a long time. But a stance for hope is that we're on the right track. At least we're having these discussions. Like the fact you invited me out to give you the spiel about what it is that I do. That's huge, right? This will impact other people. So that's a great thing.